So when you prepare your food storage, yeah, we got stuff going on out here. When you prepare, I haven't looked at that sun for a while. Okay, so they got stuff up there. So when you prepare your food storage, you all, I'm just looking at the sun, see if I can see anything there. It's so bright. Hello. So when you prepare your food storage, that's what I'm in the basement. I'm going through my shelf-stable food. Okay, and I had a few buckets that had stuff in them, and I had just had them shoved away in a corner. And so I went through there and I found these pinto beans right here. This bag, as soon as I picked it up, it didn't feel right, you all. It didn't. This was in a bucket, and it has a smell to it. It has like a moldy-like stale to it. Don't buy no pinto beans in 20-pound bags. Really, if you're all going to buy beans, food storage, buy little bags like this, whatever you eat, because you wouldn't want to buy something like this and then you have the whole bag is ruined because something happened. Even though, you know, I had it in a bucket and I totally forgot all about it. Please don't make this mistake that I did. I will not buy any more like that. I won't. And I would encourage you not. If you're doing your food storage, that don't got a long shelf life anyhow. These won't last really long if you like dried beans and stuff, maybe 1 or 2 years if you store them in the right condition. And the longer you keep them, even if they're dried out, the less nutritional value they have. I'm just like canned goods when they expire, you all. Hello. You can eat grass. You can store rice. It has a long shelf life. Now, I did find this bag right here, rice. So I don't have a problem with that, but now I got a problem with this thing right here. Don't do that, you all. I won't do it because somehow, I don't know if that was a bad batch, that particular batch, but don't do it. Go for the 1 pound bags. 1 pound bags. And if you're going to do flour, you can store your flour. Your flour has, it is a big bag of rice. We like steamed rice. We started the steamed rice when we lived in Hawaii. On the weekends, we would have tambo ahi, mahi ahi, tuna, grilled tuna and salmon. They had really good seafood there. I don't like seafood, but I like the tuna. And the even like shark fillet, it was pretty good too. Yeah, so the flour, look at this flour right here. I had this flour. This is the date that I put on here, you all. 9/19/08. That's what I did, 9/19/08. I found it. I found that way shoved back inside my closet. It had like some paper towels or toilet paper and like boxes of stuff in front of it. I forgot all about it. But when I opened it up, and I will open it up for you all, I opened it up and it still smells good, and it's still good. I've got bay leaves in here. And bay leaves keep the bugs out. It does. They keep the bugs out and they help your flour last long. You can see, like, I would always put them in my flour because I worked with this lady and she said, well, she's had her flour for 10 years and she puts bay leaves in it. So this is from 2008 and I forgot all about it. It doesn't smell rancid or anything. It's been in a cold, dark place. If you're going to store your flour, you might want to put it in a bucket with a good lid. And you don't want to, let me see if I can put the lid on it. You don't want to let stuff get to it. You don't let stuff get into your bucket. um, like that. But don't go for the big bags unless you're going to eat them right away. Unless you're going to eat them right away, get the small bags. And if you have to give some to some people, if they need food, you got small bags that you can like give to people. But this right here, I can't, I don't even feel safe eating it. I don't. Because the feel of the bag, it feels like something has swollen up inside of it. And it has a stale-like smell. Yes. Let's see. I am in my shorts and it is warm. It's probably around 60 degrees out here. Yeah, if you're gonna, you can store your flour in a container and put some bay leaves on top of it because it does keep the bugs away and stuff. But beans really don't have a long shelf life. And if you're gonna store flour, you might as well get you some baking soda, some baking powder. Yeah, baking soda, baking powder. And if you want, get you some yeast, and or you make your own yeast, your own starter for doing it, you all. Yeah, it does work. It does work, you all. And I make bread with that flour right there. I think we have one bucket in there. We just put our stuff in a bucket and we just measure out what we need. We come downstairs, we measure out what we need, and then we use it. The same thing with oats. I had found a container. I did the same thing with oats inside there too from a long, long time ago. And I had emptied all the oats into a thing and I put bay leaves on it, and it doesn't smell or nothing. Now granted, Gina Honey has not tasted those oats since I just found that bucket hidden away inside an area of a closet under my stairs. That's right. Organic grapes are from Aldi are good. Yes, we need some help for Team Humanity. Buy the beans and create a beanstalk to create to the ships. You know, I'm sure there is something to that. You know what I thought about doing with these beans? I thought about taking these beans and taking them over to my big compost pile, but it's really good dirt, and throw them in there. But then I don't want a bunch of this stuff sprouting up in my compost pile with my good soil. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 100 cookies. How can you make 100 cookies? Yeah. Hello there in Denmark, you all. It's really beautiful out today. It's absolutely beautiful. And I haven't really been outside much, trying to straighten up my basement and kind of do my spring cleaning since I haven't taken the time to do it at all. And thank you, Catherine, honey. And my husband's upstairs doing the floors. He's upstairs. He loves doing the floors. He puts his headphones on. My son had bought him headphones, real nice headphones, because he would like to listen to music. He did used to like listen to music when we first got married. But then, you know, you're in the military, you got to do your own thing and stuff like that. But he bought him some headphones that he can listen to music in. So he's upstairs. He does the floors with this Swiffer thing, and I don't like the Swiffer, but he vacuums the whole entire house floors, even the hardwood, and then he does the carpets. It takes him around 45 minutes because he goes through every single nook and cranny, and then he will he'll do the dry Swifter over that after he gets through vacuuming, and then he'll get this wet Swiffer thing and he'll do the whole house. It takes him around 3 hours, so I can't even be upstairs when he does it. I can't. Yeah. Oh, I'm not going to get rid of this oat flour. I'm going to eat it. And we do eat oatmeal. I just found that oatmeal, so I'm going to set it by my shelf in the basement, and we can have that from there. Because we do. He does a lot of baking when he bakes. So, yeah, we'll eat it. But those beans, I'm not going to eat you. I don't feel safe. I need to dispose of them. And, yeah. My husband's name is Jonathan. Jonathan. I would get so I would get upset with him in the military because I'd have to iron his uniforms. When we were first married, in Berlin, he took them to the cleaners and they got spots. Dry cleaners got spots all over his uniform, and they would not compensate him or nothing, so he had to get new uniforms. So I ended up having to iron his uniforms. And I ironed them one time, and you know, they looked nice. I put a little bit of starch, and he complained. The next time I ironed his BDUs, I I used a whole giant can of starch, spray starch, on his BDU pants and his shirt, his overshirt, and you could just hold them up, and they were just like plastered together. And his creases were so perfect. I got mad at him. Here I'm 9 months pregnant. I'm pregnant and ironing that. I said, I'll fix you. I said, here you go, Sergeant Hill. That's what I said. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, you are. I did not like it because he was kind of strange back then. He was. I put a whole can of starch on his uniform because he complained I did not iron it. That's right. So then there came a time I just didn't iron his stuff anymore. I didn't. Yeah. Um, don't run the flour through the sieve. When I was little, I used to like to play with Hot Wheels when I was really little. And the dirt. I would take this old screen. I found this old screen, and I'd put the dirt on it. And I would like do like that and make real fine dirt for these little Hot Wheels to, like, it really is fine dirt. These Hot Wheels to go in and stuff, and make tunnels underground and stuff. It was fun. Yeah, you also, if I had to iron his uniform after that, and I made sure I starched it big time. And he had to literally force his leg in there, more or less. Oh, yeah. You showed him true starch. I did. That's right. I did. And I think he had 3 or 4 uniforms he would switch out during the weeks. I had to do all of them like that. He rarely liked to wear his blues, his dress blues, and he would rarely ever, when he did, he had nice medals on the ribbons on his shirts, but he would never wear them. He wasn't one to put those big old things of medals on his uniform, and I really did like it. I like looking at those medals, but he wouldn't do it. Some men like it, and if you're in the military and you got your dress blues on, or your military greens, whatever those greens, and oh, they love wearing their medals go all the way up to here, but not my husband. He did not want to draw attention to himself. He was very quiet. Yeah, so that's what we're talking about. Room. That's right, you all. So if you're just tuning in, yeah, if you're going to prepare, do not buy big 20-pound bags of beans, because they don't really have that long of a shelf life. Instead, you know, you'd want to buy maybe just like 1-pound bags. That way, if you need to give some to somebody, they're already pre-packaged. And I would buy some rice, and you can get flour, and you can store the flour in a bucket with some bay leaves. You can see it has dust on it because it's been there a long time. I will try this flour out since I just found it. I'll make some bread and see if it has a smell to it, like a chemical smell or something. If it does, I'll get rid of all the flour. But that's been 2008, you all, that bucket right there. Thank you, Paul. Yes, that's right. Oh, Lucy. I love Lucy. Yeah. Hello there, Susan Donahue. You also, if you're going to get you some bay leaves. I know that everything's expensive now. The spices are very expensive. I think I've had this for a while. It'd be nice to have your own bay leaf plant, whatever that is. Have your bay leaves. Yeah. It would. You was married twice to two veterans. Yeah, I loved that life in the military. I really did. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I got to meet people from all walks of life, and we got to move around. And it was wonderful. It was, and they took very good care of us. I'm not going to say they didn't. They really did. And we got to pick the place we wanted to go at the end of his tour, and it was in Hawaii, the very last duty station on Hickam Air Force Base. So I loved it. I could literally walk across the guardrail and step onto Pearl Harbor, just like that, from Hickam Air Force Base. Walk over the guardrail, and you're on Pearl Harbor. That was pretty cool right there in itself. You're blessed to have your jobs. You're cleaning a home and you live in the as a caretaker, and you get to listen while you work. Tammy, I think that's absolutely wonderful. I really do think that's wonderful. As long as you can concentrate. I'm not too good at concentrating. If I'm trying to really think about what I'm doing, I like to put my complete focus on doing what I'm doing at the moment. You've been sick for a few days. Prayers, absolutely, Terry, honey. You ironed when you was in the Army, and a steel iron with a starch a lot. That's right, Gary. Yep. That's right, you all. Thank you for your service. If you are a veteran, if you spend some time in the military, thank you. It's not for everyone. It's not. It puts a big strain on the family and relationships. It does. And it's hard on the children, but that's okay. As long as you make it through, that's all that matters, you all. So if you're going to prepare, this is really strange how these right here, they line up perfectly in the sky. How is that, you all? You tell me. How is this possible? I've been staring at it. How is it possible to have perfect distance like that? I don't see how that's possible, and I didn't see anything come in the sky and make that. I didn't, because I was out here and I had noticed it, and it seems like it might be getting bigger or something. It's just strange. Isn't that neat? How could that be like that? In the sky, perfect. I know that there's no way two airplanes could have flew up there in the sky side by side and do that. I don't think it's possible for them. I don't. Yes, that's right, Terry. No, it's not a plane. Have you noticed the electric blue aura around the part of the moon? Yeah, there is a electric blue aura. Let me see if I can. Sun is super, super bright. You all look at that, Mike. Wait. Is there something up there that's like protruding out the sides of this sun? I know it's right in your face. They've been really doing something by it. Yeah. I am going to go, you all, but yeah. Don't buy a 20-pound bag of beans because if you can't eat them before they go bad, then they're going to go bad on you. And if they smell, don't eat them. If they smell stale, like what would smell stale? Like, I know what would the stale smell. If you have like a thermos and you leave your water in it, or you don't let it dry out all the way, and you put the lid on it and it sets for a couple of weeks or so, and you open it up, it has like a smell to it. It's kind of like a stale smell. Or like towels that set in the washer and they're done spinning and they're done washing and you forget about them and they're in there for a day or two and you smell it. That smell right there, that's what those beans smell like. When I opened the bucket, they smelled like that smell. Like towels or clothes that were setting in your washer and you forgot to take them out. Yeah, so don't eat it. I'm not going to eat it. Yeah, like a mildewy smell. Don't eat it. Don't get a big bag. Just get the 1 pound bags. That way, if you know, you can eat what you want. And if you give some to somebody, it's already pre-packaged. And you can even do that with your rice. If you get a big bag of rice, you can put that in smaller, like quart-sized bags and store it like that, or gallon-sized bags. Store it in a airtight container in a nice dark location. You can do that with your flour also. You can put your flour in quart-sized bags or gallon-sized bags and store it like that in an airtight container. You know what I thought I was going to do too? And I am going to do that. Before I was going to get coming on here to do this video, I was going to make, you know, those little packets that when you buy something, they're like a little, like a mesh-like package, but it's not. It looks like a little screen thing, and it's got that desiccant in it, that like little crystal-like things, if you know, to absorb the moisture. You know what I'm talking about? I was going to go up in the shed because I had bought this cat litter, this cheap cat litter that don't smell or nothing. I read somewhere that you can make your own desiccant or whatever it is, and you got to find the thing to put it in, to wrap it up in, and put it in with your stuff, and it will absorb the moisture. That's what I was getting ready to do before I got on here. I was going to walk up to the shed and get that bag and bring it down here. Yes, oxygen absorbers. Yes, that's what I was going to do. And I was trying to think of the material that I remember reading you could use to absorb the excessive moisture. And it will. You know, I use it for like oil spills and gasoline spills. It absorbs that too. I just had got just 2 cheap generic bags, as I think it was last year. Yeah. Is the alert on the cell time, Betty Zoom? We got an alert on the cell time if you're all just, yes, oxygen absorbers. I did read somewhere a long time ago, years ago, when I was into storage, about making your own. There is a correct way to do it. That's right. Hello, you all. So look at these lines in the sky, you all. This is perfectly spaced in the sky. And they seem to be getting longer. They really do. They're getting longer. I'm trying to walk. I can't see beyond. They go way beyond. They go up into the north is what they do. Way in the northern sky, if you can see it. And I don't know what they're doing. That's something is important about this, you all. This is not normal. There's something very important. It's like there is a track in the sky. So like maybe there's a great big long ship that this is the edge of it. This is the corridor that it's going to fly through or something, you all. Have you all seen that before? Because this ain't going away. It's staying in its same spot. It's not drifting off. I'm trying to look over here. Do we got the same thing over here? You all, what if, does this look like the same thing right there? What if this right here is also happening behind the tree lines and I can't see it? I can't see behind the tree lines because there's a great big hill, but it's happening right there. Now, I know this ain't got nothing to do with preparedness when you prepare, but you need to prepare to watch the skies too, because they're changing also. The skies are changing. There's clues in the sky and stuff like that. You all, there is. You have seen something in that in Canada. Yeah, without any planes. Discernment, like, what do you think it was if there wasn't any planes and you seen it? No, it's not chemtrails, because they're not, chemtrails would dissipate. they would spread out. They would not keep their structure. They would not stay put in the sky. There has got to be a reason for it. Okay, there really does. A really good reason, because they're not moving. They're not moving at all. It's you're in Ontario and your neighbor seen this. Contrails fade and chemtrails are different. Yeah, this ain't even, that's neither, this ain't neither one of them. Something else is up there in the sky, you all. I am cleaning, trying to reorganize my basement and going through stuff, and I found this bucket that had this 20-pound bag of beans in it, and it has a stale smell, probably mildewy. And I just wanted to say, when you prepare, don't buy no 20-pound bag of beans, because they don't last long anyhow. Buy a 1-pound bag. That way you can use that. That's enough for a family to eat, just like a 1 pound. And if you had to give some away, they'd be in 1-pound bags. And that's what I was saying. New technology from the evil. New old technology, you all. Yeah. Yeah, tips by Gina. Well, you want to get some bay leaves because they do help things stay longer. They do. They go a long way. They do. And you know, if you mix the beans with the rice, then you've got you a nice healthy meal right there. But you ain't going to be mixing no mildewy, stale 20-pound bag of beans if that's what you're relying on, and you didn't buy no other beans except a big 20-pound bag and it went bad, then you're going to be tough out of luck. That's right. You divide it. That's wonderful, Muddy Girl. Where do you get your Mylar bags? I've never bought Mylar bags. I have lined the inside of buckets with aluminum foil. I aligned the inside of my buckets with aluminum foil and I taped it on there. And then like I poured my sugar in it, and I got my sugar in a big 5-gallon bucket also, and with a lid. And sometimes if your sugar gets hard, you could just crunch it and you still use it. Lakeside Laura, honey, you ain't late. Loaded with protein, that's right. You have a submarine naval base and you can only imagine what they're up to. They stripe the heck out of us day and night. The reptilians, yeah. No bueno. No hay de qué. So this is a plane up here too. You see it? It's above my head. It's a white one. And it's not really, it's one of their fleets of white ships, white planes in the sky doing their thing. Looks like a, weird. It's flying really fast up there in the sky. You can see it. I can hear the echo of it. But its trail will dissipate. It's way up there in the top of the sky. But its trail will dissipate, and it won't be like that trail down there. It won't. Winter allows freeze codes. Oh, did somebody say something? Where'd you got the Mylar bags? What if you can the dry beans in smaller portions in mason jars? That's wonderful. Yeah, you can do that. You can, if you want to can your own beans and stuff. Experimentation looks more like that. Save your glass jars of beans and rice. I've seen that. Some people, Muddy Girl, beans and rice. I love that. And you can get it as gifts. Yes, put cling wrap to it and seal it with the bands. Let's see this. So save your glass jars. You can put up rice and beans. That's right. That's one complete meal. But then your beans wouldn't get done when your rice got done, but it's okay. You can even do mixtures of beans and stuff, you can. I've heard that, Betty Zoom, I have. Yeah, and sugar has a long shelf life too. Sugar does, and salt, you want some salt, and pepper is extremely expensive. You can a lot of foods, and you have a pressure canner, and yeah. Pasta. Pasta, that's an extremely long shelf life. It's longer than the rice. It is. The pasta has a longer, and you know what? I've had pasta from 10 years ago that I had bought at 25 cents a box. I just used the last of it. It was like I don't know, several weeks ago. It was still good. A 1-pound box of thin spaghetti, still good, you all. Pasta sauce and stuff, you all. So when you prepare, oh, it's Amazon has the oxygen absorbers and Mylar bags. Yeah. Okay. So I am going to go. Excuse me. Rice can be, oh, okay. Sandwich bag, put it in there. That's right. Keep replenishing your preparations and go through it, you all. Yeah. Sugar is the worst for this, but a little sugar is nice for a comfort food in small quantities. It is. And that's right. Everything is good for you as long as you don't abuse it. That's right. Oh, you're welcome, Sister Call. You can use rice as a dehydrator in boxes and containers. Oh, that's nice to know, Winged Divinity. So you mean like an oxygen absorber? Is that what you mean, like an oxygen absorber? Because that sounds really nice. It does. Yes, everything in moderation. That's really cool. I like that better than cat litter. The oxygen absorber. Barley. Seaweed. I've got seaweed. Oh, apple pie sounds really nice with a nice cup of hot coffee. It does. Some rice in plastic, put it in a hot pan and it melts. You know, that reminds me of my daughter makes these salad wraps with her hydroponics. She's got all this type of lettuce growing on it. She gets the lettuce leaves and she rolls them up, but she buys this rice paper, really thin, and you wet it and you roll up that in there, and it kind of reminds me of that. It does. Flour is going high price, so get it now. You all get it. It's going to go through the roof. Is it the sorghum crop? Irish sea moss and elderberry. Yeah, so no mildew, Wing. That is, thank you. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that instead of the cat litter. Winged Affinity. That's right. You sprinkle it in there or something, or just like put it in like a little mesh thing. That's probably better. Put it in a little mesh thing. If you could have something that's like a mesh, maybe. Yeah. Spam and seaweed. I like spam. That was a big thing in Hawaii. Spam was really big. It's supposed to be a large meteor storm. Yeah, that's right, Rainbow Turtle. Put food aside. There's no clouds. It's getting cold out here, you all in shorts. You've been watching stuff for... I hear something up there in the sky somewhere. I can't see it. Yeah. Collect all your seeds, you all. That's right, you can do it. So, I'm going to go. I'm going to get busy in the basement. I probably got a... really, it's probably going to take me several days because I keep taking lots of breaks and stuff. Not really breaks, but yeah. Oh, thank you all so much. Yes, those UFOs at the observatories, I'm going to go over there again today, too, this evening. I'm going to go look at the observatories. Is what I'm going to do. Where are you at up there? I know you're up there. I can see you. Can you see it? Okay, it's up there. It came straight up off the ground, and it launched itself in the air, is what it did. Yeah. I'm going to go. So with that being said, thank you. I wear lots of the same shirts because I like it. It's comfortable. And I'm not going nowhere, so I just wear what's comfortable. That's right. If they're there and it's meant to find it, we'll find it, you all. We'll find it together is what we'll do. So with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, I love you. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon, you all. That's right. I'm going to try the rice. I am. Thank you. Love you.